Here's my top 10 target tricks I've discovered to impress your friends and to make maps with. So the first one is that you can actually make an elevator out of targets that doesn't use any observers. It's much more reliable if you use observers, but if you have an arrow on top of a target, it will cause this to move down slowly. So I could actually pull this off if you don't believe me. You see, we're moving down slowly without having an observer, and there is a way to do it without observers. It's a little finicky, but it's definitely something worth exploring. So, number 9, an arrow collector. So right here, I have one that if you shoot it, it will almost always pull the arrows up top. Almost always. And see, now if you wanted to drop them all at once, you could use redstone to do that. So that's a little bit wild. Number 8, a random arrow-based redstone trigger. And so if I shoot at this target a bunch of arrows, and I could do this with a dispenser, you'll see they all fall in different places, and they're kind of nestled closer to here in the center, but they can span the whole range, almost like a bell curve. And so if you wanted to use this for random number generation, this could be a way to do it. It's very interesting. So the next one is the TNT switch. So if you look up, you'll see I've got a TNT up there, and this will actually activate redstone if I blow it up, because that arrow will drop and then will light up redstone like that. Cool, right? Okay, so number 6, moving target practice. This one's crazy. It's something I discovered recently with pistons, which is that pistons fired all at the same time will cause a block to move around like this. And so if you need to do some basic arrow practice, you don't have to do any redstone logic at all. It's literally just a bunch of observers hooked up to the same redstone path. It's really strange how this works. But it'd be a fun target practice to play with when you're bored. So number 5, the giant target. So right here, I have a gigantic target that is impossible to miss. And it lights up no matter where you hit it. So how does this work? Very simple. I just have an observer on every single one, and then I put those into alternating rows of just solid blocks and note blocks, and I feed those note blocks. So what that'll happen is all of these will be able to activate the note block, and then I feed those into some more observers, and then those will feed into these to collapse into one single output. And so now you've got one output that comes from a gigantic target. Number 4, the self-shooting clock. So this is a redstone clock powered entirely by an arrow. So this is the component right here. It's just this right here. And so by having 2 observers, we're able to make this a loop that will completely repeatedly fire. And it should go forever and ever, actually. You have to have a solid block in order for this to feed into. Like that. There you go. But this should go forever, and the reason is because the time to live starts when the arrow is in the ground, and so the fact that it keeps going airborne means it may live forever. So this could go forever, which is wild. Alright, number 3, the revenge target. I really want to use this for map making, but it's as simple as putting a dispenser on a target will cause it to fire. And you could do multiples of them, like this. So now we've got 2 of them. And so they'll both fire. I want to make a puzzle that involves that. Number 2. What do you think this is? It's a secret entrance, and it requires no redstone other than a torch. That's really simple. I'm actually blown away by this one. The fact that this torch will actually power both pistons and the amount of time that a target stays on is almost like there's a timer on it, but there's not. So all you do is you just shoot it. And it looks like a decor block, but it's not. It's actually a secret entrance. So what's number 1? Number 1 is doing this with yourself on it. See, I bounce up. It's a parkour block. I am no good at parkour. So that's all I have for this video. Subscribe if you haven't. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.